Mia watu tafadhali.
Ndio mimi nimetoka Kirinyaga. Tusimame kidogo tu. Kidogo nyinyi simameni. Tusimame kidogo. Nani wamekubali leo serikali ya 2027 ni ya president atatoka hapa? Muinue mkono kama mnajua hiyo. Hakuna president mwingine 2027 serikali, na muende mwambie president ule ako Wakang'ara amesema, na mimi ndio patron wa mashabiki wa Inoro Kenya and the diaspora, na mimi nikisema tumekuwa na mheshimiwa mother kutoka 1982 tukapigana, na president wa kwanza kusimama ni mheshimiwa mother, akaambia Moi enough is. Nani mwingine angefanya namna hiyo? Hata wanaume tulikuwa tutatetemeka namna hiyo, lakini mother alisema tuthiaga tukenete tugacoka twikite atia, tuthiaga tukenete tugacoka tukenete rugendo rwitu rurarirwe tugithie na tugicoka wathie Mombasa turokwo wathie Baringo turok nyumba ya mubi turi. Asanteni sana mheshimiwa mother, tumefurahi zaidi kuita hii party NAK. Mimi nilikuwa tulianza na mheshimiwa mother. Sasa
asanti
PLP
Unite Liberate
PLP
Unite Liberate.
Mimi tukiwa na mheshimiwa mother, wewe 2027 wewe kuja pigania huko uniwachia Kirinyaga. Hiyo ni sawa sawa? Baunibega. Asante sana. Ndoega mno.
Basi viongozi wetu, ukiwa na nafasi ya kuongea, wale wageni ambao umekuja nao hawataweza kupata nafasi kwenye ukumbi, tuweze tu kusema jina na kusalimia wageni. Asante.
PLP. Kwa majina yangu mimi naitwa Wanja. Watu wakiniuliza nimetoka wapi wanadhani Wanja ni wa Kirinyaga. Siko wa Kirinyaga, lakini mimi ni mrafiki wa Martha. Mimi nataka kusema kitu moja, na hii na address watu wa Kasongo. Wakati ambao sisi youth tulienda kwa street, walituambia tutoke kwa street. Tukaendelea kufanya maandamano zetu kwa internet. Juzi minister wa ICT alisema atatuzimia internet. Kwa hivyo wanataka kututoa kwa streets na watutoe kwa mtandao. Tutakubali? Tutakubali. Wakati tulienda kwa internet tuliongea vitu mingi na tukasema kama kutakuwa na impeachment, impeach both. Hatukutaka mmoja atolewe, tulisema both. And moving forward, kama wanataka kututoa kwa internet, tutarudi kwa streets na mambo itachemka. Congratulations Honorable Mother Karua, you are our role model. God bless you. PLP. Asante.
Asante, asante.
Okay, asante sana kwa kusikiliza wanajubilee, tuko pamoja.
Asante sana. Kwa sababu ya muda, ningeomba party leader wa Inject Party Morara Kebaso aje yazungumze na wananchi. Karibu mheshimiwa.
Aya. Zakayo ashuke asishuke. Zakayo ashuke asishuke. Aya. Nikisema kitu ya uongo, mnasema uongo. Sawa sawa? Wakenya hamjambo. Mimi nataka niwaeleze. Na nataka mnisikize vizuri. Hapa vile vile tayari tumekwisha weka mpango ya 6 billion ili hawa mama mboga na hawa watu makanga na hawa vinyozi na wale wabeba sasa hawa wote wataweza kukopa deni ya serikali bila interest. Sijui kama tunaelewana. Mimi nitazungumza na huyu mjumbe wenu. Hii barabara ya kutoka hapa Kiamo kama kwenda paka hapo Kianyabinge, kwenda paka Getaurio, huyu contractor alikuwa ni mkora. Sasa nitaleta contractor mwingine. Na mimi nataka niwaambie hivi, falsehoods, misconceptions and half truths will not have an opportunity in the Kenya that we seek to build. Ni kweli si kweli? Zakayo ashuke asishuke. Ashuke asishuke. The Honorable Excellency Mother Karua, First, let me congratulate you on this day and say thank you. I have bared the pain and brunt of this government. They have come after me. They have come after my family. They've even come after me with KRA. I've been arrested. I've been put in several police stations. But you have stood with me as my lawyer and my advocate. And I want to confirm to the people of PLP that I've never paid even 10 shillings. As our mother and our friend, we honor you and we honor your sacrifice to this country. We do not take it for granted that you've given your heart towards the liberation of Kenya. We as the young people are here to support you through that journey. I have heard many speakers come up here and speak about the unity of leaders. That I agree. That as leaders we must come together. Kwa sababu lazima Kasongo aende nyumbani. However, ladies and gentlemen, we must remember that the problem of our country is beyond leaders. It is also a problem of society and culture. We need to think very seriously about the economic liberation of the people of Kenya, and more especially the young people, and for them to have opportunities to live, work, and grow in this country. 78% of our population is made up of young people. And out of that population, 6 million young people are looking for jobs, and they cannot find. The president that we have is claiming to have created jobs in the construction sector. Those are mjengo jobs. Now, as you are very well aware, those jobs are temporary, and they are not permanent. Young people need dignified employment. The Cabinet Secretary for Labor, Alfred Mutua, recently I met him at the airport when I was coming from Mombasa, and he threatened me. And I want to say from this stage that he should return the 16 million shillings that he collected from young people as a promise to give them jobs in Saudi Arabia. He collected 50,000 from each of those young people, and to this day, none of them have gotten visas to go and work abroad. We should be very deliberate about creating job opportunities at home. Ladies and gentlemen, I stand here as a testimony that young people are very much interested in the leadership and governance of our country. And you, the young people, are listening to me. Today is a wake-up call to you, not just to be voters, but to stand up for positions of governance. You should not just complain. You should be solution finders. You are not enough to just be voters. You can be members of parliament, you can be senators, you can be governors, and you can be presidents. You can be the change that you want to see. And I hope to see that. My hope for the People's Liberation Party, which is PLP, is that it will give more tickets to young people to run for different positions. Na mimi Mheshimiwa Martha Karua, Senior Counsel, I want to request you that these young people, you should waive the money that they need to pay for party ticket, so that young people get free ticket to stand up for leadership in our country. Mwisho kabisa, as I finish, I've had the privilege of touring this country, 32 counties in total. Na mheshimiwa, mimi nataka kuambia kwamba ile mambo inaendelea hapa ni wizi bila kazi. It is theft to the left, theft to the right, and theft in the center. There is nothing that is going on in our country. Out of a budget of 3.9 trillion, 70% of this goes to theft and pilferage of public funds. And if you go everywhere in this country, it is dead project after dead project. Corruption has killed our devolution. It has killed opportunities to young people. Please, if you get an opportunity, give that a thought and ensure that we end corruption in our country. Mimi nina azma ya kuwa rais wa Kenya. But that is the will of God. It is God that gives leadership. It is not me to give it to myself. If you become our president ahead of me, ile kitu peke yake naomba ni kiti ya anti-corruption. Mimi, and I want to work for free. I don't want to be paid. Nipatie tu hiyo kiti ya EACC na uzime simu. Uniwache mimi nitashughulikia hawa. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you very much, Morara Kebaso. I would like to invite Professor Kibutha Kibwana. He did a very good job in the county government of Makueni, a living example of humility combined with excellence. Makueni alifanya kazi na sasa tunataka kumsikiza ili atueleze. Tumesema palipo wazee haparibiki. Asanteni.
People's Liberation Party. Mimi nina furaha sana kufika hapa leo kwa sababu Martha Karua aliniuliza nije katika kuona chama cha NARC Kenya kikipata sura mpya ya PLP. Nimetoka mbali na Martha Karua kwa sababu sisi wote wawili tulikuwa shule pamoja ya kisheria, mmoja akisimama na mwingine akikaa chini. Kwa hivyo Martha akiniomba nifanye jambo huwa mwepesi kwa kubali. Na vile vile tulipoanza NARC Kenya nilikuwa kutumia lugha ya Wamunyoro shareholder. Nilikuwa founder of NARC Kenya. Kwa hivyo nikaona kwamba leo mpaka pia nifike. Alafu mimi ninapenda sana People's Liberation. Mahali kuna hayo maneno mawili huwa mimi lazima nihudhurie. Na kwa kweli najua kwa sababu tumefanya kazi kwa muda mrefu na Martha. Nimejua kwamba Wakenya wako katika roho yake. Na akiuliza tufanye jambo, ninajua kwamba hatuwezi kupotea njia. Hapa nimeona viongozi wengi na wana talents nyingi, na nimeona kwamba kuna nia ya kuleta hizo talents pamoja. Na kwa kweli tulipoona Gen Z wakisimama ndio wakomboe Kenya, they sacrificed their lives for a purpose. So even hawa viongozi wako hapa na kuna wengine hawako hapa, ninajua kwamba if the young people could sacrifice their lives for Kenya, each one of you and maybe others who are not here want to be presidents, you will do a small sacrifice of sacrificing your presidential ambitions so that the country can go forward. Kwa sababu hicho kiti cha president kinaweza kukaliwa na mtu mmoja, hakiwezi kukaliwa na watu wawili. And even when one person is the president 2027 going forward, what I think is needed in this country is group leadership, so that a president is just a person who is before, the others, lakini sio yeye kila kitu jinsi tumeona. Alafu nikimalizia nataka niseme huyu Kasongo ni mgumu, na he is good at last mile politics. Kwa hivyo huyu ni mtu wa kupangiwa vilivyo. Watu wakifikiri ni mteremko, ana mbinu nyingi. Kwa hivyo ndio tusiseme tunafurahi, hiyo sio enough. Kazi itafanywa, inatakikana ifanywe. Na nimeona kwamba kuna new political capital of Kenya, mahali kunaitwa Wamunyoro, na ninaona kwamba tutaendelea kwa sababu ukiona watu kama akina Mukisa, mtu ameenda inji zote za ulimwengu, ana marafiki wengi huko, anaweza to get a door finished. Hata ndugu yangu Kalonzo, isipokuwa kuna wakati tunakuwa na shida kidogo, ana capacity ya kuwa he has not been mentioned with corruption. Kwa hivyo hapo kuna jambo. Huyu mzee, that's a tough nut. Huyu ni mtoto wa maumau, so a lot is expected from you. Na wote tunaweza kuendelea. Kwa hivyo ndio nisitumie wakati mwingi. What I really want to say is it must be a true people's liberation. kwa sababu we don't want to replace Kasongo na Kasongo mwingine, si ndio? We don't want to replace Kasongo na Kasongo mwingine. And the young people, we don't want them to be in party wings. We want them to be an integral part of our politics, because you here are people to hand over power to these young people, these Gen Zs, so that tuna kizazi kipya. Kwa hivyo nafurahi kwa sababu nimeona dalili kwa umbali ya muungano wa wazalendo, tuseme MUA. Asanteni.
Asante sana His Excellency Kivutha Kibwana. Ningependa kumkaribisha Honorable Dr. Muhisa Kitui ili aweze kuzungumza nasi. Asante.
Mwenyeji wetu na tena mgeni wa heshima siku ya leo, rafiki yangu wa miongo mingi sana, Martha Karua, waheshimiwa viongozi vinara wa vyama mbalimbali, wazalendo wa Kenya, hamjambo. Mimi kwanza ni fahari yangu kusema wakati tunazindua mlongo mpya wa chama cha PLP, nilikuwa mwanzilishi party leader wa NAK Kenya. And the DNA of NAK Kenya as a party that is responsive to youth vibes, to new thinking, remains to inform my thinking about this country. Sitasema mengi sana. Kihistoria, na mimi nilihusika na harakati za ukombozi wa pili. Every liberation movement reaches an inflection point when the decisions of leaders are critical in deciding whether it is going to collapse or it's going to succeed. The best example we have is 1991. Kenyans were united in believing that Moi was to go home. You did not need to tell them any other reason why Moi had to go home. They knew he had to go. The problem was everybody wanted to become the new Moi. If you remember 1992 elections, because of a critical mistake we made in 1990-91, Moi remained president after winning 34% of the popular vote. We are approaching a similar inflection point. Across this country, you don't need to say very much to convince people that Ruto is a terrible disaster to this country. It doesn't take much intellectual effort to show that he's a bad hypocrite, that he's bringing shame to us by hosting Janjaweed, terrorists who are killing black people in Western Sudan because of pieces of gold. You don't need very much to show that a person who keeps praising his intellectual credentials and does not show any evidence of exposure to education in his utterances in public does not do scholarship justice. But you know, the problem for Kenya right now is how can we use this moment of the relaunch of PLP as an opportunity to get every one of us to say, I have partisan interests to grow my party. I have personal political ambitions to move forward. But I have greater ambition to be part of national solution that Kenya must be liberated from the yoke of Ruto more urgently than my personal desire for political office. If we can take that as our main message going forward, the dividends are very, very close to us. 1991, we had a problem. We did not have a mother to bring us together and say, our goal is larger than our personal ambition. But imagine, if this had happened 2 years ago, no boys would have been picked from their homes in Kondele and their bodies found slaughtered by guns. No youth would have been shot on the streets of Nairobi and became statistics in mortuaries with impunity. Just what Rai will not have been abducted and be told, you withdraw this case or I'm going to kill you or expel you. Today, the blood of Gen Z, the fate of investors, the aspirations of our nation call upon us to be genuine in our determination, take shame of our nation, return humility to leadership, and find a higher calling that national liberation is more important than your personal political ambition. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Dr. Muhisa Kitui. I would now like to invite Senator Richard Onyonka to come and address. He's done a very good job to inject. So tukaribishe Senator. Thank you.
Asante sana. For the guests who are here, I come here first because I was invited by Her Excellency Martha Karua, somebody that I've known for many years. And this is a wonderful idea. The branding is good. I hope the message will get to the people. I am representing a gentleman who's not here with us, and his name is Fred Matiangi. He sent me to come and tell his colleagues, Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka, Honorable Brigades Gachagua, Honorable Martha Karua, Honorable Eugene Wamalwa, my brother and my friend, Honorable Morara Kebaso, Honorable all the people and the teams that are here, I want to say thank you. Wanjigi, oh God, you are a serious Kenyan. We are very, very proud of you. I want to say 2 words. We have a country where our budget now is 4 trillion. Parliament serves the executive. 90% of the members of parliament and senators have been bought. In that process, you have this 4 trillion budget, which is supposed to give our people health services. It's dead. You have the education system on its knees. Why? Because university funding money does not get to the people who are vulnerable. You have a government that is actually doing something called affordable housing, but in the universities, all our students live in the slums. Instead of the government building where these kids stay, because they pay, the government is building houses where the president and his friends are sharing the loot. How are they sharing the loot? They supply the cement. First of all, they take public land, they supply the cement, they supply chumas, they supply kokoto, they supply mchanga among the friends. They have said they were building 200,000 houses. The Auditor General says we've only done 5,000. The rest, they don't know where they are. You have a country that as we speak today, you don't know where the port of Mombasa, who owns it. Wanjigi, you don't know who owns Lamu Port. What happened to Vision 2030 and Kansas City? Billions and billions of Kenyan shillings dumped over there. Nothing has happened. Then, of course, Morara has always come out with the roads, how there is nothing, how they take the money and share it amongst themselves. Teachers are not being paid because they are examining exams from 2 years ago. And then you have our Kengen, you have Ketraco, you have Diathamo, all of these state corporations. If I ask Eugene Wamalwa today, Your Excellency, do you know now who the ownership, the partnership of these government institutions are? Would you tell me? Absolutely not. All our universities land, whether it is the University of Nairobi, whether it's Kenyatta, whether it is Moi University Eldoret, is being allocated, shared amongst the people in government today. The houses where university lecturers have been staying around here, including across the street, they have already transferred the titles. And I'm informed that some of those are being given to commercial banks so that they can borrow money against them, so that if the government comes later to claim for those properties, they'll find that they're already on second or third encumbrance. Then you have a matter where if you're a country that you are not willing to accept criticism, you are a president and you think that you are going to take people like me. You are taking young Kenyans and you're killing them. And right now, some of them are being killed in a stadium in one of the Western province county governments. That is the information I got last night. They are taken there at 2 o'clock in the morning. And the bodies are picked at 7 in the morning in trucks. What have we become? What state are we? Honorable Gachagua, you talk about how they may want to kill you. All of us can be killed. Please, if they kill me, come for my funeral. Because I'm not going to stop talking about these things. I will not. And if they offer the money, I will not take it. I will not. It has reached a country where all of us now must begin to interrogate ourselves and ask ourselves, lest we forget like I heard my brother talk about, lest we forget every single thing that is going to happen to any of us can happen to any of you out there. So finally, I want to tell the leaders on this table, Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka, don't be like these people. If you become president, Rigiji, don't be like these people. Honorable Eugene, the country needs you. So don't come and take over power and start sharing the loot and behaving as if this country doesn't need support. We are mistreating our most vulnerable people very unfairly. We take their money, we misuse it. We don't take money to schools for capitation. We leave children becoming like beggars. Young people in this country are being promised to be given jobs out of the country. Hell no, there are no jobs out there. Trump is saying, go back to your countries. And then we are busy looking at ourselves as if there's no problem in our country. There is a problem. It needs people of dignity, people of integrity to stand firm so that we can change this country, so that tomorrow we live a country that everybody can be proud of. Honorable Fred Matiangi is finishing his work in the next 1 month. He will be here to join you. He wishes all of you the best. He hopes you will give him an opportunity to serve as president. But if he doesn't become president, he is willing to work with you and support whoever that this group will pick as a presidential candidate. Thank you so much. And God bless you. And finally, I want to say this. Rigiji and the team, come to Kisii. We are waiting for you. PLP! 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 Kiboko yao. God bless you all.
Asante sana, that was quite deep. So I hope mumeweza kufikiria maneno haya yamesemwa. I would like to invite the Honorable Eugene Wamalwa, Party Leader DAPK, aje azungumze nasi.
Thank you. Yeah, that's okay. Naona kuna majenziko na ile musangarire. Rigiji mwenyewe ako hapa atawapa hiyo story. Na msiseme My big sister, Martha Karua, may I congratulate you and the entire leadership of the PLP for this historic occasion. And may I also congratulate you for the successful launch of this great party. It's a party that has great history. You've been told by my big brother Mohisa Kitui the history of NARC Kenya. Many of you Gen Zs probably will not remember this history, but it is where we started as a people when we came together to bring about regime change of a regime that had been in power for 40 years. The Nyayo regime, the KANU regime. NARC was a coalition of many parties that came together to achieve that. Before that, they had failed twice to remove Moi from power.
In 1992, they were divided. When Kibaki, Matiba, Jaramogi were all running separately. They lost to Moi. In 1997, wakati marehemu Wamalwa kijana, Bi Charity Ngilu, Raila Amolo Odinga na wengine walisimama kura, walipoteza tena 1997, Moi akipata 36% of the vote. So almost 70% of Kenyans rejected him. But he made his way. 2002, we learned our lesson. And amongst the leaders who are there today, I'm proud that Martha Karua has led us here and brought us together to start this journey again. Are you ready to travel this journey? Amongst those who are there with my big sister Martha, we had His Excellency Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka. We had Dr. Muhisa Kitui. This was the team that came under NAC with Kibaki and Wamalwa, and they were able to form the government that brought a lot of change, that transformed lives, that gave us a new constitution in 2010, that gave us Vision 2030, that has guided our national development for all these years. This was the team that changed Kenya. So when Martha Karua invited us here today and gave us 2 words, unite and PLP, unite. Those are 2 very critical issues I want you to remember today, because it's as a result of that unity that change was achieved in Kenya. Without unity, we will not be able to succeed. And wanasema ukarimu huanzia nyumbani, vile vile umoja huanzia wapi? Nyumbani. So Martha Karua has not just told us empty words. Leo tukiwa hapa, she has led by example. Yeye amekaa na ndugu yake Rigiji. Hawa wawili were rivals in the last election. Hawa walikuwa running mates. Mmoja wa Kasongo, mwingine wa baba. Leo wamesema wanakuja pamoja, mmoja akiwa baba wa mlima, mwingine akiwa mama wa. So Martha, you have led by example. Having Rigiji here, going to his home, and I'm told you've been Wamunyoro to bring the mountain together. You have led by example. We congratulate you and we're terribly proud of you. For the young people today, the message of unity is not just about parties, not just about these seasoned politicians, party leaders and political parties. The unity that made us succeed in the first liberation was across generations. We had young Gen Zs like Dedan Kimathi who paid the ultimate price. But we had old men like Jomo Kenyatta who came together and formed the first government. That was the first liberation. In the second liberation, we had young Turks like Muhisa Kitui, James Orengo. They were very young. But they were able to come together with seasoned old guards like Jaramogi, Masinde Muliro. That is how we were able to remove Moi from power. Today, as we talk about unity, we want unity of not just political leaders. We want unity of all leaders, young and old. And today we invite you, the Gen Zs, because you are the game changers in the journey ahead of us. Musiseme hamutaki kufanya na hawa wazee. Hamutaki wanasiasa. Ya kwamba you are leaderless, you are fearless. Today we want to tell you, kidole kimoja hakui chawa. Our unity, the seasoned politicians, the Gen Zs, the millennials, civil society, the church will make sure that we send William Ruto back home to Sugoi. Are you ready to unite with us? Sisi tuko tayari. Mwisho, there is the issue of liberty. To liberate, Martin Luther King once said, freedom or liberty is never given by the oppressor. It must be demanded by the oppressed. So when we are talking about liberty, about liberating our country, we must know that William Ruto will not hand over power, will not give us time to liberate this country. We must demand and make him go home to Sugoi. So that is why we're here today. And we start by saying that as leaders, what I see here is a team that is capable of leading this country. Martha Karua is eminently qualified to be the 6th president of the Republic of Kenya. Stephen Kalonzo is qualified to be the 6th. Gachagua is qualified. Wamalwa, hata huyu Morara, he's qualified. Hata Gen Z pia, you are qualified to lead this country. Lakini leo nataka niwaambie ya kwamba sisi sote hatuwezi tukaongoza mara moja. At different times we may lead, but there'll only be one president at a time. Leo nataka niseme kama Eugene Wamalwa, if I'm honored to be that flag bearer, I will not let you down. But if I'm not honored to take that position, and the first amongst equals amongst us takes that position as our flag bearer, mimi Eugene Wamalwa nitakuwa wa kwanza kumunga mkono kwa dhati tutoe Kasongo. Now that is the position as DAP Kenya. We have said we are ready to unite to liberate our country. And to do so, we must be prepared to bear any burden, to make any sacrifice, to support any friend, and to oppose any foe, including our former allies who are leaving the side of the people and joining Kasongo. We will be ready to meet them. Omundo Humundu. Are you ready? Are you ready? So today, that is the position we want to say. And as my good teacher, Professor Kibwana, has said, if the Gen Zs who started the liberation on the 25th of June were able to sacrifice, they were able to pay the ultimate price, who are we not to sacrifice? Even if it means that sacrifice will be of our ambitions to be president, even if that sacrifice would be to make way for others. Today we want to say that we are ready for that. So sitaki niseme mengi, nataka niseme ya kwamba liberation. Why are we saying we want to liberate our country? Because our country has broken down. We have a broken government. Today is the 9th day clinicians are on strike. Today, doctors are starting their strike. We were with head teachers yesterday. Capitation is not coming to our schools. Walimu wanalia, wanafunzi wa university wanalia help. Na najua makomrade mko hapa. Magavana wanalia sababu devolution as we speak. Ile disbursement ya devolution haikuji on time, and William Ruto is an existential threat to our devolution program. So we must liberate our country from the existential threat to democracy, ambayo anataka kuwa multi-party democracy. Existential threat to